Here's a critical analysis of Dr. Victor Frankenstein from Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Victor Frankenstein embodies the archetype of the tragic overreacher, an ambitious scientist whose obsessive pursuit of knowledge leads to his downfall. Mary Shelley presents him as both a visionary and a deeply flawed individual, whose unchecked ambition, moral irresponsibility, and inability to confront the consequences of his actions make him the novel's central tragic figure. From the outset, Frankenstein's obsession with scientific discovery blinds him to ethical considerations. His thirst for godlike power is evident when he declares, "Life and death appeared to me ideal bounds, which I should first break through and pour a torrent of light into our dark world." This Promethean ambition positions Frankenstein as a man determined to transcend human limitations. However, Shelley warns against the dangers of scientific hubris. His refusal to acknowledge moral boundaries leads not to enlightenment, but destruction. Frankenstein's fatal flaw is not just his ambition, but his failure to take responsibility for the life he creates. Upon seeing his creature come to life, he recoils in horror. The beauty of the dream vanished, and breathless horror and disgust filled my heart. Rather than nurturing his creation, Frankenstein abandons it, setting in motion a cycle of rejection and vengeance. His failure as a father figure reflects Shelley's critique of the Enlightenment's emphasis on intellect over emotional responsibility. Frankenstein's downfall ultimately stems from his inability to accept the consequences of his actions. His hubristic quest for creation ultimately leads to the deaths of his loved ones, including Elizabeth and William. In the final moments of his tragic arc, he acknowledges the cost of his ambition, but remains unrepentant, warning Walton, "Learn from me, if not by my precepts, at least by my example. How dangerous is the acquirement of knowledge." Here, Shelley frames Frankenstein as a cautionary figure. His fate warns against unchecked scientific progress without ethical consideration. This warning is still relevant today. Victor Frankenstein is a deeply complex character, at once a visionary scientist and a deeply flawed man whose hubris, irresponsibility, and moral blindness lead to his undoing. Shelley's novel critiques not only the dangers of unchecked ambition, but also the ethical responsibilities that come with scientific advancement. Frankenstein's tragedy is that he remains blind to his own failings, making him a timeless symbol of the consequences of playing God.